James, good evening.
Good evening, Nigel. How are you?
Well, I'm all right, but I have to say, James, I struggle with these 5 p.m. daily press conferences without reaching for the drinks cabinet.
They are largely boring. Nigel, do you remember a certain evening at the end of January when we celebrated getting out of a certain vicious union?
I do. I remember it with great glee.
And do you remember how everybody was shoulder to shoulder?
Yep.
And the Prime Minister was listening to the scientists who said, don't worry, this is nothing. Because the scientists haven't got the guts to say, we don't know. We don't actually know what's going to happen. And shortly afterwards, of course, everything changed.
Well, the 31st of January, of course, was the day. It wasn't just Brexit Day at 11 p.m. that evening. And yes, I was very pleased to be in Parliament Square with that huge crowd of people. But it was also the day, wasn't it, of the first positive diagnosis in the United Kingdom. James, you can not necessarily blame Boris Johnson and the government for not being too alerted to this on the 31st of January. But as the weeks went on, James, this is my view. You know, I was screaming into this microphone every day, look at Milan, look at Italy, look at what's happening in Spain and France. This is us in 2 or 3 weeks' time. And for me, the real failure here is inaction. Now, is that the fault of a scientist, James, or is it the fault of the government? Who, in the end, has to stand up and take responsibility?
Well, Nigel, I look at it this way. You listen to so-called expert opinion, and God knows, I didn't know we had so many professors in the country.
There are lots of them.
And then you use your own common sense. That's what you don't blindly follow the advice given by people. I mean, in life, you can listen to an accountant or a lawyer or a surveyor, and then you decide yourself.
So were you not, James, because when Boris told us, and still tells us, we're following the science...
I cringed.
Right, because it's done to reassure us, but it hasn't worked with you, has it?
Certainly not.
No,
Certainly not.
James, thank you for your call. It is now 16 minutes past 6.